Push forward, he yelled as they pressed deeper into enemy territory. Zara fought valiantly beside him, her skills honed from her time within Zarkon, ranks evident in her movements as she disabled enemy weapons and provided cover fire. As chaos reigned around them, David led a group toward the supply trucks laden with weapons and ammunition meant for Zarkon forces. "We need to destroy these," he shouted as he planted explosives around the trucks. With each explosion that rocked the valley floor, morale surged among human fighters. They were reclaiming what had been taken from them. A symbol of hope. After securing victory at the ambush site, Alex stood amidst his comrades as they surveyed the wreckage left behind. The remnants of Zarkon supplies now lay scattered across the valley floor like trophies of war. "We did it," someone shouted amidst cheers erupting around him. In that moment of triumph, Alex realized how far they had come. From mere survivors hiding in shadows to warriors reclaiming their strength against tyranny. Each victory fueled their resolve. Each battle fought brought them closer together as allies united by purpose. As news spread about their ambush success throughout human settlements across regions still under Zarkon control, hope blossomed anew among those who had lost faith in freedom's possibility. Alex knew this was only one step toward liberation. Many more battles lay ahead. But now, humanity stood ready to fight back fiercely against oppression. The rising resistance. In subsequent weeks following victories like these, the resistance grew stronger. People flocked to join their cause, inspired by tales of bravery told around campfires at night, or whispered among families during quiet moments when fear threatened to overwhelm hope. With every skirmish came new allies willing to risk everything for freedom. Each person added fuel to flames igniting across galaxies, where once despair reigned supreme. As Jack Mercer led his troops into battle after battle, he felt something shift within him. A sense that humanity would not only survive, but thrive against insurmountable odds. Together, they would forge a future free from chains binding them down. Together, they would rise up against all who dared threaten their existence. The fight was far from over. It had only just begun, and Jack Mercer stood resolute at its forefront of the decision. In a time when humanity had reached beyond its cradle, venturing into the vastness of space, a pivotal decision loomed over the United Earth Federation. The galaxy was a tapestry of wonders and perils, filled with uncharted territories that beckoned explorers. Yet, as whispers filled the corridors of power, one question resonated louder than the rest. Why send only a single ship to face the unknown? The Federation's council convened in a grand chamber, its walls adorned with holographic displays showcasing distant stars and planets. Among them stood Captain Ilara Voss, a figure embodying both resolve and curiosity. With her striking features framed by short-cropped hair, she exuded an aura that commanded respect. As she listened to debates swirling around her, she felt an electric anticipation coursing through her veins. This mission was not just another assignment. It was a chance to redefine humanity's place in the cosmos. Captain Voss, a council member, began, his voice echoing through the chamber. "The decision to dispatch Odyssey alone is unprecedented. We must consider the risks involved." Ilara nodded thoughtfully. "I understand your concerns. However, sending multiple ships could provoke suspicion among potential alien civilizations. A single vessel demonstrates our commitment to peaceful exploration." The council murmured in agreement but remained skeptical. They were well aware that humanity had faced its share of challenges in space, hostile encounters, miscommunications, and unforeseen disasters. Yet Ilara's vision was clear. She believed that forging connections with other species was essential for humanity's survival. As discussions continued, Ilara reflected on her crew, an eclectic mix of scientists, engineers, and diplomats, all hand-picked for their skills and adaptability. Each member brought unique perspectives that would be invaluable during their journey into uncharted territory. "Captain," another council member interjected, "what if you encounter hostility? What if you need backup?" Ilara met his gaze with unwavering determination. "If we approach with respect and understanding, We can turn potential adversaries into allies. We must trust in our ability to adapt." With that statement hanging in the air, Ilara felt a surge of confidence wash over her. She had trained for this moment her entire life. Every lesson learned had led her here, to command a mission that could change everything. As preparations began aboard Odyssey, excitement buzzed through the ship like static electricity. Engineers fine-tuned systems while scientists organized data banks filled with information about potential alien cultures they might encounter. Each crew member understood that they were embarking on more than just a journey. They were stepping into history. Ilara walked through the sleek corridors of Odyssey, admiring its advanced technology designed for deep space exploration. The ship was equipped with state-of-the-art sensors capable of detecting even faint signals from distant worlds. Its hull shimmered under artificial lights, a testament to human ingenuity. Captain Voss called out Lieutenant Jace Morgan as he approached her with an eager smile. "We're ready for final checks before launch." "Excellent," she replied, feeling buoyed by his enthusiasm. "Let's ensure everything is functioning optimally." As they moved through various sections of the ship, engineering bays humming with activity, laboratories filled with eager scientists, Ilara felt an overwhelming sense of purpose enveloping her. She gathered her crew in the main briefing room for one last meeting before departure. "Team," she began, her voice steady yet warm, "we stand on the brink of something extraordinary. We are explorers at heart, driven by curiosity and compassion." She paused to gauge their reactions. Eyes sparkled with anticipation, while others held traces of apprehension. "I know there are uncertainties ahead," she continued, "but remember this. Our mission is not merely about discovery. It's about understanding others, building bridges where none exist." The room erupted in applause as her words resonated deeply within each member present. They were united by a common goal: to represent humanity in its best light among unknown civilizations. As Odyssey prepared for launch, Ilara took one last look at Earth, a beautiful blue marble suspended against a backdrop of stars, and felt a bittersweet pang in her heart. She knew that once they left orbit, there would be no turning back. "Engage engines," she commanded as excitement mingled with anxiety among her crew. With a powerful roar, Odyssey broke free from Earth's gravitational embrace, soaring into the cosmos like an arrow shot from a bow. As they entered deep space, Ilara felt exhilaration wash over her. They were truly embarking on an adventure unlike any other. Days turned into weeks as they traveled through uncharted regions of space. Stars twinkled like diamonds scattered across velvet fabric, while cosmic phenomena danced around them, a breathtaking display that reminded them just how small they were against this vast universe. Yet amid this beauty lay uncertainty. The unknown awaited them just beyond every star system they crossed. One day during their routine scans, Ensign Lyra Chen burst onto the bridge with wide eyes, filled with excitement mixed with trepidation. "Captain, we're picking up strange signals from Sector Zeta 9. They appear to be coming from an unidentified source." Ilara's heart raced at Lyra's words. This could be their first contact with another civilization, the moment they had all been preparing for since leaving Earth. "Plot a course towards Sector Zeta 9. She ordered decisively while suppressing her own excitement for focus's sake. "Let's see what awaits us." The crew sprang into action as Odyssey adjusted its trajectory toward this mysterious signal, a beacon calling them deeper into uncharted territory, where anything could happen. As they approached Sector Zeta 9, anticipation hung thick in the air like charged particles before a storm, each crew member acutely aware that they were about to step into history once more. Little did they know that what lay ahead would test not only their skills, but also their very understanding of life itself, pushing boundaries further than any explorer had ventured before. Into the void. As the Odyssey sailed deeper into the cosmos, Captain Ilara Voss stood on the bridge, her eyes scanning the vast expanse of stars. The ship had been traveling for weeks, and the crew had settled into a rhythm. Each member focused on their tasks while excitement simmered beneath the surface. They were explorers, pioneers of a new era, and the unknown awaited them. A new challenge. The crew's daily routines were punctuated by briefings and training sessions aimed at preparing them for any encounters they might face. Ilara had insisted on thorough drills, knowing that each moment spent in preparation could mean the difference between success and failure. The atmosphere aboard Odyssey was charged with a mix of anticipation and anxiety. They were venturing into uncharted territory, where anything could happen. One morning, as they gathered for their daily briefing, Ensign Lyra Chen entered the room with an expression of urgency. "Captain, we've detected something unusual in Sector Zeta 9, she announced, her voice steady despite the gravity of her words. "What kind of anomaly?" Ilara asked, leaning forward in her chair. "It appears to be a series of energy fluctuations, like nothing we've encountered before. It's coming from a nearby star system," Lyra replied, her fingers flying over her console as she brought up visual data on the screen. Ilara studied the readings closely. The energy signatures were erratic but intriguing. "Plot a course toward Sector Zeta 9. Let's see what we're dealing with." Navigating the unknown. As Odyssey adjusted its trajectory, Ilara felt a thrill of excitement mixed with trepidation. The crew was on high alert, their senses heightened as they approached the source of the anomaly. The ship glided through space, its engines humming softly, a reassuring sound that reminded them they were still in control. "Captain," Lieutenant Jace Morgan chimed in from his station, "we're entering the outer edges of Sector Zeta 9 now. Sensors are picking up strange readings, multiple vessels detected." "Are they friendly?" Ilara asked. "Unknown at this time," Jace replied, his brow furrowed in concentration. "They're not responding to our hails." Ilara's heart raced as she considered their options. They could turn back or proceed with caution. But this was what they had trained for. This was exploration at its core. "Continue forward and prepare for potential contact," she ordered. First glimpses. As they drew closer to the source of the energy fluctuations, a breathtaking sight unfolded before them. A cluster of vibrant nebulae, swirling around a small planet dotted with shimmering cities and intricate structures that seemed to pulse with light. The beauty was mesmerizing, a stark contrast to the uncertainty that lay ahead. "Captain, we're receiving a transmission," Lyra exclaimed suddenly. On screen, Ilara commanded, her heart pounding in anticipation. The view screen flickered to life, revealing an alien figure, a being composed of luminous energy that shifted colors like a living rainbow. Its voice resonated through the bridge, melodic yet otherworldly. "Welcome, travelers from Earth. We are the Exilari." Ilara felt a rush of relief mixed with exhilaration. They had made contact. "We come in peace," she replied, her voice steady despite her racing heart. "We seek knowledge and understanding. Cultural exchange." The Exilari responded with curiosity, their forms shimmering as they communicated not just through words, but through waves of color and light that conveyed emotions and intentions. Ilara marveled at this unique form of communication, an intricate dance that transcended spoken language. "Your presence here is significant," one Silari said, its colors shifting to shades of blue and green, indicating calmness and curiosity. "We have long observed your species from afar." Ilara felt a sense of wonder wash over her as she realized that they were not just explorers. They were ambassadors representing humanity's desire to connect with others across the galaxy. "We wish to learn about your culture," Ilara said earnestly, "and share our own experiences as well." The Xilari responded enthusiastically, inviting Odyssey to dock at one of their floating cities, a breathtaking structure suspended above swirling clouds illuminated by bioluminescent flora. The docking process. As Odyssey docked with precision alongside the alien city, Ilara gathered her crew for an important meeting before disembarking. She could see both excitement and apprehension etched on their faces. This was uncharted territory for all of them. "Remember," she began, addressing her crew firmly yet warmly, "we are here to learn and understand, not to impose our beliefs or ways upon them. Approach every interaction with respect. With nods of agreement from her team, Ilara led them down the ship's ramp into the alien city, a world like no other. The moment they stepped onto Tsilari soil, Ilara was struck by an overwhelming sense of beauty and harmony. The air was filled with soft melodies produced by floating plants that swayed gently in an unseen breeze. Colors danced around them, an ever-changing landscape that reflected emotions and thoughts shared among its inhabitants. The Tsilari welcomed them warmly, guiding them through their city while sharing insights into their way of life. An existence deeply intertwined with nature and technology, it became clear that their society thrived on cooperation and understanding rather than competition or conflict. Ilara felt inspired by what she saw. It was a glimpse into an alternate way of living, one that emphasized unity over division. Unexpected challenges. However, amidst this newfound connection, lay challenges waiting to surface. As discussions progressed between humans and Tsilari leaders regarding potential collaboration in science and technology, underlying tensions began to emerge within both groups. Some members of Ilara's crew expressed skepticism about trusting these beings who seemed so different from themselves. Fears rooted in humanity's past encounters with unknown civilizations resurfaced like shadows lurking just beyond sight. Meanwhile, certain factions among the Tsilari viewed humanity's arrival as an intrusion rather than an opportunity for partnership, fearing that human ambition could disrupt their delicate balance with nature. Ilara sensed these growing tensions during meetings where dialogue shifted from curiosity to defensiveness, a tug-of-war between openness and suspicion threatening to unravel everything they had built thus far. A call for unity. Determined not to let misunderstandings derail their mission or compromise future relations between Earth and Tsilari civilization, Ilara called for an emergency meeting among both parties, a gathering designed explicitly for open dialogue where fears could be voiced without judgment or hostility. As she stood before representatives from both sides, their expressions reflecting hope mingled with uncertainty, she spoke passionately about shared values. Compassion for one another's existence, respect for diverse cultures, commitment toward peaceful coexistence despite differences in perspective or experience. Her words resonated deeply within those present, sparking conversations filled with vulnerability rather than defensiveness, a shift toward understanding rather than division, a new path forward. In that moment, a turning point, the atmosphere transformed from tension-filled uncertainty into collaborative exploration, fueled by curiosity about each other's worlds rather than fear of what lay ahead. As discussions continued late into the night under starlit skies, filled with possibilities yet unseen, Ilara felt renewed hope blossom within her heart, a belief that perhaps this journey into the unknown could lead not only toward discovery, but also toward lasting friendships across galaxies. Yet even amidst this newfound unity lingered questions about how far trust could stretch when faced with unforeseen challenges ahead. The first contact. As the Odyssey glided through the vibrant expanse of Sector Zeta 9, Captain Ilara Voss felt a mix of excitement and apprehension. The Tsilari had welcomed them with open arms, but beneath the surface of their colorful society lay complexities that could easily unravel the fragile threads of diplomacy they had begun to weave. A new beginning. The alien city was unlike anything Ilara had ever seen. Towers of shimmering light reached toward the sky, their surfaces alive with pulsating colors that shifted in response to emotions. The air was filled with a melodic hum, a sound that seemed to resonate with the very essence of life. As they walked through the streets, Tsilari citizens moved gracefully, their forms flowing like water, embodying a harmony that Ilara found both enchanting and intimidating. "Captain," Larachen whispered as they passed a group of Tsilari engaged in what appeared to be a communal activity. "Do you think they truly understand us?" Ilara glanced at her ensign, noting the uncertainty in her eyes. "I believe they want to understand us, Lyra, but we must be careful." Communication goes beyond words. Navigating cultural nuances. The first official meeting between humans and Silari was set to take place in a grand hall adorned with bioluminescent flora. Ilara prepared herself for the encounter, reviewing her notes on Silari culture and their unique way of life. She knew that understanding their binary communication, where emotions were expressed through color changes, would be crucial. As she entered the hall, Ilara was struck by its beauty. The walls glowed softly, casting a warm light over the gathering of Silari officials and her own crew. Chief Counselor Rax, a towering figure radiating shades of blue and green, welcomed them with an air of authority. "Welcome, representatives of Earth," Rax said, his voice resonating like music. "We are honored by your presence." Ilara stepped forward, her heart racing, but her demeanor calm. "Thank you, Counselor Rax. We come in peace and seek to learn from your culture while sharing our own." The complexities unfold. As discussions progressed, it became evident that the Silari were not merely curious about humanity. They were also wary. Rax's colors shifted subtly as he spoke about their society's values. Interdependence and harmony with nature were paramount. "Your arrival has sparked both hope and concern among our people," Rax explained. "We have observed your species from afar and have questions about your intentions." Ilara nodded thoughtfully. "We understand your concerns. Our mission is to foster mutual understanding and cooperation." However, as she spoke, she sensed tension rising among some Silari officials who exchanged glances filled with apprehension. An unexpected revelation. Midway through their discussions, an unexpected interruption occurred. A young Silari named Sira stepped forward, her colors flickering in hues of orange and red, indicating both fear and determination. "I have seen what humans are capable of," Sira said boldly. "They are not just explorers. They are conquerors. We must protect our way of life." Ilara felt a wave of disappointment wash over her but quickly composed herself. "I assure you, Sira, our goal is not conquest, but collaboration." Rax raised his hand to calm Sira's agitation, while his colors shifted to soothing greens. "Let us hear what Captain Voss has to say." Building bridges. Ilara seized the opportunity to share stories from Earth, tales of cooperation between different cultures and species throughout history. She spoke passionately about humanity's struggles against adversity and how they had learned from their mistakes. "Every civilization has faced challenges," she said earnestly, "but it is through understanding one another that we can grow stronger together." Gradually, the atmosphere began to shift as some Silari listened intently, while others exchanged uncertain glances. Ilara could see that her words were resonating. She was building bridges where walls had previously existed. A moment of connection. After hours of discussions filled with questions and answers, Sira approached Ilara privately as the meeting concluded. "I apologize for my outburst earlier," she said softly, her colors now reflecting shades of blue, indicating calmness. "It's okay," Ilara replied warmly. "You care deeply for your people. That's admirable." Sarah hesitated before continuing. "I want to understand more about humanity's experiences, your struggles and triumphs." Ilara felt a spark of hope ignite within her. Perhaps this was an opportunity for genuine dialogue. "Let me share our history with you, our journey toward understanding diversity. Unforeseen challenges ahead." As days turned into weeks aboard Odyssey, Ilara worked tirelessly alongside Sira and other auxiliary officials to establish a framework for future cooperation between their species. They discussed potential scientific collaborations and cultural exchanges that could benefit both civilizations. However, not all were convinced that such partnerships were wise. A faction within the auxiliary government grew increasingly vocal against human involvement in their society. "Humans do not understand our way of life," one official declared during a tense council meeting. "They will disrupt our harmony." Ilara listened carefully but felt frustration bubbling beneath her surface. She understood that fear often stemmed from misunderstanding. A test of diplomacy. To address these concerns head-on, Ilara proposed a joint cultural festival, a celebration showcasing both human and Silari traditions. It would serve as an opportunity for both species to learn from one another while dispelling misconceptions. "We can create something beautiful together," she urged during another council meeting filled with skepticism. "Let us show our people that we can coexist peacefully." After much debate, Rax finally nodded in agreement. "If we are to move forward as allies, we must take this leap together." With preparations underway for the festival, a blend of human music and dance alongside Silari art forms, the atmosphere began to shift once more toward optimism. The festival approaches. As the day of the festival approached, excitement buzzed through both communities like electricity in the air. Humans practiced traditional dances, while Silari artists crafted stunning displays that would illuminate the night sky. Ilara felt a sense of unity blossoming between their peoples, a shared vision for what could be achieved if they embraced each other's differences rather than fearing them. However, lurking beneath this newfound camaraderie lay unresolved tensions. Whispers among certain factions hinted at potential sabotage aimed at disrupting the festival, an act fueled by fear rather than understanding. A race against time. Determined not to let fear dictate their future, Ilara rallied her crew alongside Sira and other supportive Silari leaders to ensure everything would proceed smoothly on festival day. Yet as preparations reached a fever pitch, the night before, the atmosphere grew thick with unease. Shadows loomed over what should have been an occasion filled with joy and celebration. Would this festival mark a turning point toward unity, or would it become another chapter in humanity's struggle for acceptance among alien civilizations? As dawn broke over Sector Zeta 9, a new day filled with possibilities, the fate of this delicate alliance hung precariously in the balance. Tensions rise. As the festival day approached, the atmosphere aboard the Odyssey was electric with anticipation. Captain Ilara Voss stood on the bridge, observing her crew as they prepared for what was meant to be a historic celebration of unity between humans and the Silari. Yet beneath the surface, shadows of doubt and fear loomed large, a growing concern. Ilara felt a knot tighten in her stomach as she reviewed the latest reports from both her crew and Silari officials. There were whispers of dissent among certain factions of the Silari government who viewed the upcoming festival as a threat rather than an opportunity. The fear of change was palpable, and Ilara knew that if tensions escalated, it could jeopardize everything they had worked for. "Captain," Lieutenant Jace Morgan said, breaking her thoughts, "we've received intelligence that some Silari may attempt to disrupt the festival. They believe our presence could corrupt their culture." Ilara sighed, rubbing her temples. "We need to address these fears head-on. If we can demonstrate our respect for their traditions during the festival, it might quell some of this unrest." Strengthening alliances. To counteract the rising tensions, Ilara called for a meeting with Sira and other supportive Silari leaders. They gathered in a luminous chamber filled with bioluminescent plants that pulsed gently in response to their emotions. "Sira," Ilara began, "we need to ensure that our festival showcases not only our cultures but also our commitment to understanding one another. We must create an atmosphere of trust." Sira nodded, her colors shifting to a calming blue. "I agree, Captain. If we emphasize our shared values during the festival, it could help bridge the gap between those who fear us and those who wish for cooperation." Ilara felt a surge of hope. Together, they brainstormed activities that would highlight both human and Silari traditions, musical performances, art exhibitions, and storytelling sessions that would allow both species to share their histories. The festival begins. On the day of the festival, Odyssey was adorned with colorful banners representing both Earth and Silari cultures. The ship had transformed into a vibrant hub of activity as crew members prepared for their roles in the celebration. As they arrived at the central plaza of the Silari city, a breathtaking expanse filled with floating gardens and shimmering lights, Ilara felt her heart race with excitement and anxiety. Thousands of Silari had gathered, their colors shifting in anticipation. "Welcome," Rex announced as he stood beside Ilara on a raised platform. "Today, we celebrate not only our differences, but also our shared hopes for a brighter future." The crowd erupted in cheers, but Ilara could sense an undercurrent of tension among some attendees who remained skeptical about human intentions. Cultural exchange. The festival commenced with performances from both species. Humans showcased traditional dances, accompanied by lively music, while Silari artists painted murals that depicted their history through vibrant colors. Ilara watched as Sura took center stage, sharing stories about her people's connection to nature and technology, a narrative that captivated both humans and Silari alike. The audience listened intently as she spoke about their symbiotic relationship with their environment. But just as spirits began to soar, a group of dissenters emerged from the crowd, Silari who opposed any collaboration with humans. Their colors flickered angrily as they shouted accusations against Ilara and her crew. "Leave our world. You bring only chaos," one shouted, his voice cutting through the festive atmosphere like a knife. A call for calm. Ilara's heart sank at the disruption. She stepped forward, raising her hands in a gesture of peace. "Please, we are here to learn from you and share our experiences. We mean no harm." But the dissenters continued to shout, drowning out her words. Sira joined Ilara on stage, her colors shifting rapidly between shades of red and orange, indicating distress. "Let me speak," Sira called out, her voice resonating through the plaza. "We are not enemies. We seek understanding." The crowd fell silent for a moment as Sira's plea hung in the air. Slowly, some began to listen, while others remained skeptical. Bridging divides. Realizing that dialogue was essential to bridging this divide, Ilara proposed an open forum where both humans and Silari could voice their concerns and questions. "We must address these fears directly," she urged Rax and Sira after stepping off stage. "If we can create an environment where everyone feels heard, it may help ease tensions." Rax agreed reluctantly, but recognized the necessity of addressing grievances openly. They arranged for discussions to take place after performances concluded, a chance for both sides to engage in meaningful dialogue. As night fell over Sector Zeta 9, lights illuminated the plaza like stars twinkling in an endless sky, a reminder that even amidst darkness, hope could shine through. A moment of truth. After hours filled with music and art showcasing humanity's creativity alongside Silari brilliance, the time came for open discussions. Ilara stood at the center of the plaza alongside Rax and Sira as representatives from both species gathered around them. "Thank you all for being here," Ilara began earnestly. "We understand that change can be frightening. However, it is through understanding one another that we can build a better future together." One by one, individuals from both sides voiced their concerns. Some spoke passionately about preserving cultural integrity, while others expressed hope for collaboration leading toward innovation. Ilara listened intently while offering reassurances where needed, her diplomatic training guiding her through this delicate process filled with raw emotions. A sudden crisis. Just as discussions began to foster understanding, a sudden commotion erupted at the edge of the plaza. A group of dissenters had clashed with security personnel assigned to maintain peace during festivities. "Stop. Don't let them disrupt this," Rax shouted as he rushed toward the chaos unfolding before them. Ilara felt panic rise within her chest. This was not how today was supposed to unfold. She followed closely behind Rax, determined not to let fear dictate their future any longer. As they reached the scene, voices raised in anger, Ilara stepped forward once more, trying desperately to restore calm amidst chaos. "Everyone, please, we must not resort to violence," she pleaded loudly enough for all present to hear. But just then, a blinding flash illuminated the night sky, followed by an ominous rumble echoing across Sector Zeta 9. The unthinkable happens. In an instant, chaos erupted further as shockwaves reverberated through the plaza. Many fell backward while others scrambled for safety amid confusion reigning supreme. What was that? Jace shouted from behind Elara, his face pale with disbelief at what had just transpired. Rax turned sharply toward Elara, their eyes locking in mutual concern. This moment could unravel everything they had built together. "We need answers," Rax declared firmly while scanning faces around him, fear evident on every countenance present now, overshadowing any sense of celebration once felt moments ago. Elara felt adrenaline coursing through her veins. She knew they had to act quickly before misunderstandings spiraled out of control yet again. "Gather everyone," she commanded urgently, her voice steady despite turmoil surrounding them, all now threatening unity forged throughout this day filled with hope.